interesting idea that you want to share in our next meetup and you want to lead the discussion, just let me know and we can set that up. And I'm just going to pass the stage to Amir, who's prepared a great presentation for us, and I'm sure we're all really excited to listen to it.
So if you have anything to comment about this session, you can go to Natalie. Okay, hi everyone, my name is Amir. I'm very excited to be here tonight. I'm the original founder and now the co-founder of VRSQUARE. In the past 8 years, we've been working with brands such as these. There we go. So we've been working with these brands over the past few years for product visualizations. They are almost entirely industrial product visualizations. Okay, so tonight we are here to talk about the next generation of content. Well, let me ask you guys, what do you think is the next generation of content? Ideas?
Yep.
Just like the title says, 3D.
It does? It says 3D content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
3D.
Okay. So 3D content already exists. What is next? What is after 3D content? 4D? 4D? What is that? Minimal? You can paste it?
Maybe mixed content, like or mix of 3D and real life objects or something like that.
Okay, but that, you mean AR, but that already exists. What's after that? Let me give you a hint. Look at this one. So back in 1900, we had illustrations, graphics, 2D graphics. So we had pretty pictures, posters, and we could market it. That was the content for media, right? And then after that, we had radio, and we mastered audio. So we had audio for content. Soon after, TV came, and we just mastered pictures, moving pictures. So we had video, so we had graphics, audio, and then video, and then internet came, and it just changed everything. You had audio, video, sound, and then you could have text on it, and it was interactive. Okay. So then the internet showed up, and then we had audio, video, text, pretty much everything we needed as a content to just promote the product if you wanted to sell something, right? But then 2004, 2006, iPad, iPhone, these handheld devices changed everything. So you could actually hold the product in your hand in really good quality. You could see it, you could touch on the points, you could give you information, so it was interactive. And that was the next content after the internet. But now, today, we have AR, VR, 360, mixed reality content. But what's going to be the next content? You know you already.
I'm going to say interactivity might be on your mind.
Okay.
That was iPad.
But this is more like 3D interactivity, not just visualizing.
Can you explain more?
Data visualization, big data visualization.
You're very close. You're very close. Anybody else? Who's a 3D modeler here? You're a modeler.
Not specific.
But he knows 3D modeling pretty well. Okay. I'm just going to talk over this and I'll explain what I think is next generation content. If you look into the history of marketing, this is not a history session, but I'm just going to give you a clue, and then you can probably find patterns in it. So if you go back, again, from posters to radio to TV to internet to iPad, and then with AR, VR, more and more marketing channels started adding to mass media, right? And with it, you had more tools, more devices, more everything to show, to sell. That was connection between marketing and then content. And then with today's market, what we see is more and more brands are using 3D high resolution, photorealistic renderers to show products. And we actually see more and more solutions who let you upload the 3D content on your website or in AR, VR, so you can promote your product and you can sell it. So if you go to IKEA, if you go to Porsche website, if you go to, sorry, I forgot that brand, a 360 real estate, or any of these, and there are more and more. You see, these companies are actually jumping from a 2D web browsing content into a 3D content. So I think, and what I'm saying is, 3D content is already here, and we are already using it as the next generation content for visualizing products. And you see more and more websites are letting you host 3D content. So we already have a clue. 3D is going to be part of next generation content. And that's what we do. 3D model, this is what we do. Even PowerPoint, this is an actual 3D object. PowerPoint lets you include 3D objects. That's how it gets now. So from this, which was just some tools for 2D content presentation, to this. And this is just a small portion of the industry. These are softwares and tools that let you create content. So you see how, as history advances, you get more and more tools to create high fidelity, high quality 3D content for presentation. So what do you think is the next wave of content? I'm just going to tell you what I think. It's going to be immersive content. I know when I say immersive, it's going to be AR, VR, but it's not really immersive yet. You're still using your iPhone, iPad to use it. And with HoloLens, it hasn't really unlocked anything. With Oculus, you're in it, but it's not really, you're not really interacting with it. So you still have joysticks. So it's not as immersive, but I think what I'm about to explain is the actual immersive next generation content. Okay, think about it this way. IKEA wants to sell a product. No, sorry. Let's think about it this way. You want to go in an app, and you want to use your AR app to figure out if you could buy a sofa, put it in your living room, and it fits your living room, right? So if you wanted to do it right now, you just launch an AR app and search for sofa. You still have to use the 2D interface, type in sofa, and you find some results, and you tap on it, and it just shows in AR, and you just look at it, and it might work. But I think the true immersive experience is, and especially we see more and more companies are working on it. If you're in your living room and you're looking for a sofa, your phone is already looking at it. The camera is on, and we know ARKit, AR Core are processing what they're looking at. There's an AI behind it. This is the latest addition to AI. So they are looking at what you are looking at. They're looking at the context of your search, so they know this is your living room. You're probably in your living room, and from the history of your device, they know probably you're in your office or you are in your apartment. So what's going to happen in near future? What I think it's going to filter out all the results and just give you the sofa that matches your living room for that size, for whatever purpose you want. So it's not going to be just showing you all the 3D content and putting it in AR for you. It's going to understand what 3D content you want to put it in. So the interaction, the UX between you and your 3D content in AR is going to change. So that's a huge shift between the content we have and then the content that is going to come. Do you guys see that example? Is that better? I think that's way better. Instead of just
know my favorite color.
So yeah, that part you still have to interact with. This is your personal preference. I want a different color. But the app is helping you. Your experience is improved because your device is looking at it. And now you don't have to go through like millions of results. It gives you the result that it thinks it matches you, especially if the size is limited, right? And now it's going to be still 3D content in an immersive experience. So it's not just looking at a 2D surface anymore. It's going to be 3D object in immersive context. But this is what I think is going to be next generation content. 3D immersive context-based presentation, real-time visualization. Now here's what is happening with the hardware industry, because you already witnessing it. Software industry is growing. Like you see more and more tools coming for 3D modelers to make better visualization of objects. So you just make it material reality, so you can sell it. That's the industry. And now the hardware industry is also growing with it. So we have three things already. So UI UX is shifting in AR experience, VR experience, or 3D experience. Hardware is also shifting. You see better devices, but your iPhone is improved every year. Your Google phone, your Android phone, your devices, everything is improving. Oculus, all the other big ones are investing in it. What's going to happen, we think, and then we see this more and more. Now, the future trends. How will you be interacting with the environment? So again, back to my AR example. All the traditional ways of interacting with your app, like keyboard, mouse, all that is going to change. What you are going to have sometime in near future is you are going to be looking at your device, of course, probably with your iPad, but you don't have to interact with it. It will find the result for you, and it will replace it for you, and that's going to be the next generation content. Yes. So let me just show you an example of a project we worked on, and I'm just going to use that to explain a site product that our studio is working on. The problems we had and then the solutions that we worked on for product visualizations like this. So Williams & White is it's a Burnaby-based manufacturing company. They work on heavy industrial machines, and they attend 8 to 15 shows a year, Europe, North America, Asia. The problem, when they came to us, the problem with their files was they are engineers, they are mechanical engineers, their files are CAD files. So have you guys worked with CAD before? You know the beauty of CAD? You know when you get a CAD file from an engineer, and now they're asking you, okay, can you make it pretty so we can sell this machine? And then you open this CAD file in another software, like in Maya or Max, and then you have to convert it to FBX first, and then open it. What happens is it just destroys everything. So the joy of starting a new project is now pain. What's going to happen in, let's say, and usually these companies, they just want a video in 2 or 3 weeks because there's a show coming. There's like a hard deadline on it. What's going to happen is, usually when you have to go through a product visualization, you get a CAD file, you have to prepare the content. So you can render it, or you can just put it in a real-time rendering engine like Unreal Engine or Unity, or on a web base. So you can present it. When every time we had a CAD file from these people, we had to spend a really good chunk of time cleaning up the file before we could use it. Has this happened to you before? Yes. No. How not?
Because I transform CAD files to STL.
Right.
And then I put the STL files into 3D Studio.
But how do you texture them?
Well, the STL files, when you import them into 3D Studio Max,
Right.
they import as meshes, so it's pretty simple.
But if you want to put it inside Unity or Unreal or inside Maya, what do you do?
I didn't use Maya for that. I just used 3D Studio Max.
So imagine it was a requirement. You have to put it in Maya because your team is working in Maya, or you just have to push it into Unreal Engine. Then you need to make the FBX. And now the file is extremely big. you have bigger problems now. Your file, this machine, this specific machine, it has 28,000 pieces, not 2,800 pieces. 28,000 pieces, that means you have to check all the pieces in a 3D file. Make sure you fix all the texturing, lighting, and if you need to animate the machine, you have to group them so you can animate them, and then push them into a pipeline for visualization or rendering. And for all that, you have about 3 to 4 weeks. This is pretty much impossible to do, unless you put all your resources on it, that it will drive you for bankruptcy.
Or it's just, you could do a scan if it was fairly static, but if you were like opening it up and showing how it works.
But yeah, they want to show how it works.
Yeah.
So everything moves in this machine. So option A is to manually clean up everything. And this show, the last show for this machine they had, it was in Germany, and they wanted to actually show it in a game engine, and they want to show another version in AR, so they can show you an iPad to show how big it is, and then you tap on it and it moves or it shows information. So to show something in AR and make that immersive experience, it was almost impossible pretty much if you wanted to do this manually. Because you have to, again, check 28,000 pieces in it. It would take you at least 3 weeks to clean up everything. That was option 1. Option 2 was to use a game engine like Unreal Engine and use some of their plugins or tools to import it into the engine and then run it, but there are more problems with it because now the file is so heavy, you can't push it into iPad. Now you have to go in and manually select everything. So that was another thing. And then option 3 is something that we've been working on. So every time we had projects like this for CAD, that the company wanted to show their products in AR or VR or just a desktop presentation, we had to convert the CAD file and then go in and select all the pieces and delete some of the parts that they don't want to show, like the bolts, wires, the interior of anything that is not necessary for showing. And then for every project, we had to do it manually. It would take us 2-3 weeks, wasting time, energy, preparing content before we could actually get into presentation, like visualization of the product, the beauty of it. After doing a few projects, we figured, okay, there are tasks that every project we have to just do it over and over again. But how about if we could automate some of these tasks? So what we did was, we looked into the structure of the CAD format. We looked into the structure of FBX or any 3D formats that engineers work with. And then every time we had to do the same task, we programmatically made a standalone software that does it for us. So if the file is like 28,000 pieces, think about it this way. A machine is just a giant box of tiny objects just repeated all over again. Like 5,000 bolts, and the bolts are exact identical objects. 300 screws, everything is just repetitive objects. So what we did was our software goes into your CAD design and it reads everything. And it finds, okay, what are the duplicate objects? And it instantiates them. That means you just think about it as like a WinZip. WinZip reads your file and it shrinks it, but it's not losing any data. It's just finding the common codes in it and it just compresses it. And then once you unzip it, it just puts it back in without losing any data. So our software, Cubity, does the exact same thing. It finds all the duplicates for you and it removes it if you want to. It takes between 5 to 15 minutes compared to 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So that was our side project. We are still working on it. It's very final stage. We are about to launch it in the very near future. From 28,000 pieces, we reduced it down to 300 something pieces. Now you can go into the file, that 300, and review 300 parts. If something needs fixing, you can just quickly fix it, and it applies to every duplicate in your scene. So you just have to fix one bolt, for example, and it fixes all the bolts in your scene. And then now, the project file, instead of the FBX file for this machine was 12 gigabytes. we reduced it down to 300 megawatts. Now you can push 300 megawatts into iPad. You can't push 12 gig into iPad, but 300 is manageable. And now we can show it in AR. So you see, AR is the future. We know, we understand, we already imagine that it's happening. But the problem is, we have way too many tools to design amazing content for AR, VR, but we don't have any tools to optimize it for the coming future. The next generation content is going to be for AR, VR, but we haven't built any tools for that. Our studio, VRSQUARE, is now more focused on building tools for next generation content for AR, VR. So this is what we do. It's focusing on the future of 3D content for AR visualization, AR, VR visualization for 360. How was my talk? Yeah. I'm not exactly done, but that was, I feel like I talked. So common problems we had, so let's keep talking. So the job future in 3D industry. If you guys are looking for, if you're already planning for your next career or next job, you're thinking, okay, when am I going to be out of job because softwares are taking over pretty much every job. I know people who used to work on this specific things, and then now the software does it even better. They are jobs, so you have to be careful about it. You have to keep thinking about it. What we think is, three things are shifting in the industry, in the product visualization industry. The UX UI is changing because AR, VR, 360 is a whole different experience. It's not going to be a 2D web browser and you click on it. It's going to be entirely different. So UI, UX for AR, VR, no one has unlocked it really. So that is something you guys can think about. Hardware is going to change dramatically. It's already changing dramatically, and it's going to change even more. So that could be something to invest on. And also, content optimization for the real-time visualization. That's also changing. So if you guys are thinking, okay, where is my job going? Those are the three categories that we think is going to change. Yeah, thank you for listening to me. And let's build a 3D modeling community that
Another meeting.
Another meeting. It's another meeting. Please come to our next meeting. So what do you guys think?
Good.
Do you think, because what we think here is just an assumption. But if you look into if you just follow up with the news, you see companies like Adobe, Microsoft, all the giants are acquiring more and more 3D studios. Like Adobe just acquired Algorithmic. They do Substance Painter Designer for 3D visualization. Microsoft has already integrated mixed reality. It's a 3D preview for Windows. OneDrive has 3D preview now, even that. Who else? Google, Apple, everybody is heavily investing in 3D visualization because we know who they just bought. You can actually open a 3D file in Photoshop now, just because you can design a label and just put it on the product right away. You don't have to put it in their software and then see it. So we see companies like these are getting into 3D market. That's our clue. That's what we think is going to happen. Like all the giants are going after the next generation content, and they think it's an AR immersive, sensitive content. What do you think? I mean, you can't imagine it. We already talked about it, and it's imaginable. So I'm very excited to hear what you guys think. What's the next type of content? Ideas?
My question was how you plan to offer it as a service if you do. Would it be a plugin, would it be standalone, or API keys as a service? How do you think people would use Cubity?
Yes. So we started this project Cubity about a year and a half ago, a year ago. We first thought about, okay, let's do a plugin. But then if you're building a plugin, you just have to build it for a very specific target. Like it's going to be Cubity, it's going to be Unity or Unreal or Max or something very specific. But because we don't know exactly where the market is going, we decided to go with the standalone software. So Cubity is a standalone software, and we are supporting different platforms. If you want to export it as a UASset or just a Unity prefab, these are all integrated into our standalone. So this is
Mac and Windows.
both, yes. Windows is way better. Because think about it this way. If you open a 3D file, it needs to sit on your graphic card and your memory. With Mac, it's really capped on 32 gigs. You can't. With Mac Pro, you can't go over 32 gigs, but it gets very expensive, and pretty much every major studio is on PC now. So we built it for PC, but we're actually testing it out now on Mac and PC. So it's both compatible, and there's a possibility that we build it for both Mac and PC.
Is it flexible output file type, or did you decide on FBX or?
We started with FBX as a proof of concept,
Yeah.
because there's an ocean of FBX content out there in the market, everybody can use FBX. But it's working now, so we just started integrating more formats, and by every week we just adding more and more formats. We actually planned for this ahead of, before everything else, that we want to start with FBX, but we want to support as much as we can. We want to centralize the solution. So yeah, multi-platforms, multi-language, multi-formats. Yes.
Also like a few things. One thing, like, would we also think that if there is more of a market for the 3D content, how much of it will visually replace like real content as well, and like in terms of like, you know, having like, I don't know, some kind of video visualization tool, like, because I've also seen a lot of these sci-fi movies like Runner, where they have a lot of these like kind of
Yes.
holographic type displays with 3D stuff, and then
Totally.
there's like, but what if there's like a 3D scanned like real object, or say like it's just like maybe there's an object in a room and the camera
Absolutely.
just goes 360 and then projects that onto a surface.
Just think about it this way. Intel is working on a very decent AR glasses. You should definitely check it out. Intel has, different companies are working on different glasses right now, but I think Intel has the best one. There is a video about it, and they explain exactly how they did it and what the quality and what features. And I think Intel has the highest chance. If Intel manages to create a glasses that you can just see content in thin air, why would LG create any more monitors? This chunky thing called TV is pretty much useless now, because now we can just put content anywhere. And it's going to be 3D content. It's not 2D content anymore. Our brain doesn't work with 2D as well. With 3D, we understand it way easier. And it's just way more presentable. So yeah, if that is happening, then 3D content is going to be absolutely replacement for all 2D contents. What do you guys think? Like, tell me what you imagine. So TV monitors are out. Hopefully, your phones are going to be out. I hope the wristband or just glasses with your phone.
How about the input, state of input devices? I haven't been checking up on Leap Motion. They had kind of initially, you could just like put your hand over this keyboard sensor and fly around, but we need like to be able to type or grab something.
Haptic feedback.
Haptic feedback,
Or
yes.
even that.
Or Kinect. Microsoft Kinect is a good example. If they manage to put it in a glass, then yeah.
I think they
Leap
had
Motion is not
a
really the best
resolution
solution.
issue. You couldn't discern digits fully. I think Leap Motion was making some progress, but I don't really see anything.
Yeah, they stopped 2 years ago.
They went.
They stopped 2 years ago pretty much. As soon as it hit Best Buy, they started selling it. That was the end of it. No more innovation. It's just one tiny device, and it reads shadows from your hand.
So there is no great input solution where you don't need I mean, the other thing I heard about long ago was sort of that somehow a wristband would electrically detect
Yeah.
enough information to figure out what your hand
It-
positions.
Again, these are like good solutions, but it didn't really unlock anything. We are just waiting for the next UX UI discovery. So if I'm interacting with objects and I don't have any keyboard or mouse in AR, what am I going to use it for? What am I going to use to interact with the objects? So that's why I think AI is going to come help you. Okay, you're looking for a sofa for this place. I think these sofas match your place. Instead of you going with a fake keyboard and fake mouse on the end and typing in there.
The voice is a big one too, I'm sure of that.
True.
The more voice maybe.
True, but voice is not really applicable for every case. So if you don't want other people that you're searching for something on Google in your AR glasses and it's not something that you're really proud of, you don't want to say it out loud and so other people hear. Right? The privacy is just removed as soon as you say it. What would be the best thing, best experience in AR for you guys? If you could just search for a sofa, what would be the easiest way to do it in AR? No mouse, no keyboard.
It's voice commands.
No voice commands. I mean, you can't just use voice for it.
Mind reading.
Your mind's on.
It goes into your head.
Your mind's on.
Brain surgery every time. So yeah. Actually, Futurama had an episode about it. Eyeglasses. iPhone.
Oh,
It was an actual piece of metal that they push it into your eyeball.
Oh, nice.
Right? Has anyone seen that? Yeah, look it up. Futurama iPhone from Mother Corporation. Yeah, so
That's
thanks guys.
going to be further down the road. So I think the thing that I'm disappointed about, I can take out my phone and get a cheap piece of the cardboard and get it into VR mode, but
No.
you want stereoscopic cameras to determine the depth of your hands so that you can interact, and of course overlay what.
Yeah, apparently the next iPhone has it.
Sorry?
Next iPhone is called what?
XIX.
Is that what it's called?
Maybe.
It's called, no. It has 3 cameras, it has 3 lenses, we know that already. So it has,
But then what they started doing, they're like, oh, more cameras. I'm like, here we go. This is all what we've been doing. But they're like, so you can focus on the background and the foreground at the same time. It had nothing to do with determining depth because it requires some pretty massive processing power, which probably needs a 5G network to do things without nausea. So there's still these little steps that, so they won't build the phones till they put in the 5G system, multi-channel systems. But eventually, as we get stereoscopic cameras out, then it's.
we will get there, we will get there. Look at this graph. This is only from 2008 to 2016. And now 2018, it just jumped way higher. So imagine 2020, where it's going to be. So if you guys have thoughts or have you imagined already, come talk to me. I want to hear your imaginations. Thank you.
Here.